so. Bailey B. Deasy Deshane. Is that how you say your last name?
Yeah. Yeah. I
Deshane.
guess I'm
Yeah.
Cloherty now, but
Sorry.
I guess I'm a Cloherty now, but
Oh yes, this is one of
yeah,
those parts where we can edit out so Josh doesn't hate me after.
I go both ways. I'm back and forth.
Yeah, it'll make good
Deshane
content.
is I made myself strong, so that's my Deshane gene.
There you
Cloherty
go.
Cloherty had nothing to do with that.
Yes, yes, self-made.
Yeah.
I like it. I like it. So I asked you today to have a little interview, a little see what's going on in your life type thing. You got a few big shows coming up. We got Strongest Woman in the West and Strongest Woman in Canada coming up here for you shortly. I think it's probably safe to say which one's a little more nerve wracking for you. How are you feeling about the shows?
Where Westerns is just like a fun girls' day. We don't get to have just a women's competition on its own very often. So yeah, it's just a really fun girls' day. And even though the events aren't like my favorite, I'm having fun training them because I never get to do it. And then yeah, just knowing who's going to be at that competition and what it's leading to, I'm just excited about it.
Yeah, no, that's good. That's two big shows. Obviously, Strongest Woman in Canada is going to be a big title to hold as well. And I remember I asked the question on social media there not too long ago about shows and stuff, and it was brought up about women maybe not having as many opportunities as the pro men in Canada. And I didn't realize that there was two pro am women's shows out east. And then we just had our first one here in the West just last year. So it was cool to see. I never thought about that before. It is good to know that there are opportunities as well for the women to get their pro
Yeah.
cards as well.
Yeah, we're starting to grow, but even in the West in general, we never used to have that many opportunities. All of us always had to fly out east, but it's so expensive to fly across Canada that most of us would just rather go internationally and go somewhere we haven't seen before and spend my money there. Even though Quebec is like gorgeous and like the East is absolutely gorgeous, but I've kind of been there a few times already. So that's why I went to Singapore and that's why I've been to Norway. Like I'd rather spend my money there. But for shows like North America's Strongest Woman, like that's an invite only invitation. And it's like very, very competitive because there is very, very strong women in Canada that we're all fighting for like the top 5 or 6 spots that are only handed out. So it's really hard to say no to those opportunities, even though it is expensive. But that's part of making the women's side grow is to show up to these shows and yeah, actually it's the attendance that's the hard part. I'm actually doing America's Strongest Woman. I think it's in 2 weeks already.
Oh
So
wow.
I'm flying down to Pittsburgh. But I looked at the prize purse that they have down there, and as long as there's 8 women that show up, first place got 5K American, and last place, like eighth, got $500.
That's pretty good.
That is wild to me. But then looking at the roster, 3 girls are signed up, and I don't understand it because we in Canada, like the women would kill and the men would kill to have a prize pot like that, and it's just sitting there like empty, and I just it just blows my mind. So that's why I'm going down there because I have dual citizenship. So I'm like, why would I not take that opportunity? And then it's another competition under my belt, more experience, and yeah, just try to just keep winning a little bit of cash here and there as my part-time job.
Yeah, absolutely. If you can, like, why not, right? Like you said yourself, yeah, it's fun to travel around Canada, but yeah, just to go to the other side of Canada, it's literally cheaper to go to Mexico for all inclusive for a week if
Mhm.
your standards are a little low. But still, it's it's definitely cheaper to travel like internationally than within Canada. So that's obviously a big thing as well, for sure. So, well, hopefully they get some more girls and you actually get a decent little pay bump out of that one.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, we'll get
yeah.
there.
Just showing up. Yeah.
Sorry.
We just got to keep showing up. We just
Oh
got
yeah.
to do these shows so we can keep getting cash prizes like that and keep getting like women's only shows or even to be able to compete alongside the pro men. Like that's awesome too. I would love to compete at Western Canada Strongest Man and Woman alongside together. Like
Yeah.
we've never ever had that ever. We've had Canada's Strongest Man and Woman compete
Yeah.
alongside each other, but over that was like 7 years ago probably already. And I don't think we've had that since then. So I love that we have Strongest Woman in Canada with the amateurs and like it's all in one weekend. But I wouldn't mind being with the men or us girls just having like another girls' weekend again.
That's actually, yeah, pretty cool idea. Strongest man and woman in the West on the same day. That's yeah, that would be awesome. Actually, I think it would help both sides grow by getting more eyes on and stuff. The more names you get out, especially pro athletes and everything, that would build a show. So
And we had talked about that before, is that our associations are different because they're so circuit homes and we're strongman court.
yeah,
So our rules are a little bit different, but I mean, we know what the rules are and we can keep that separate. We just want to compete and we want to compete with our guy friends. Like,
yeah,
that's all we're asking for. We don't necessarily like it would be nice to have equal pay if we're doing the same competition, but I know the men is mandatory to have 5K for their purse, where we don't have that's not mandatory for us, but I'd still like to be able to compete with my friends. That's all
oh
I'm
yeah,
saying. Yeah.
yeah, no, absolutely. I think that's something with enough, push behind it, get enough athletes interested. I think that's totally possible.
We'll keep working at it.
Bailey, what would be your favorite warm up song getting ready for a show? Out back, getting warmed up, getting hyped up. What really gets the gingery hairs fired up?
Pretty much anything country that I can dance to. And country like never plays at the gym, but now that I have my home gym set up, my Spotify is all over the place. So I'll play like some Luke Combs and some Hardy. I'm really into Hardy and Morgan Wallen right now. And then Avril Lavigne will come on. Whew! So Avril's probably my girl. She's probably my go-to. But anything that I can just sing and I can understand the lyrics, I'm having a good time. It could even be slow, but yeah, if I can name those lyrics off, then having a good time.
Yeah. No, that's
Hmm.
awesome. I when you said country, I was like, man, no one listens to country get hype. And then I remember seeing that meme online where it was like, I could be at a party having a beer, and if someone puts on a song and it starts with Shania Twain saying "Let's go, girls," I'm gonna kick the doors off.
Exactly,
I was like,
exactly.
yeah, okay. I mean, now I
Yeah.
think about it, if I'm walking up to a big deadlift and you got Shania like, "Let's go, girls," I'm gonna like power clean that deadlift. You train out of Strength Edge, correct?
Yeah, part time. Yeah.
Whether it's there or somewhere else, what would be one of your biggest pet peeves in the gym?
For for me, it drives me nuts when people slam their weights down. Whether it's if it's a 1 rep max, like you're hyped, you drop it from your lockout. Okay, don't have to do that, but okay, yeah, you're excited, but it's for rep work, and they like slam it down. It's like 2 plates on the bar, and they're slamming it down every time. Yo, work on your eccentrics, man. Like you're missing half of your whole lift there. That's the part that drives me nuts. And then it's unnecessary banging for absolutely no reason. So
Oh
that's
yeah,
usually I'll like set up right beside them, put a couple more plates on and just put it down nice.
oh
Nice
yeah.
and gingerly.
There's that, and then just the whole ego lifting thing. Like I can just see it, like some little dude like throws the weight down, and there's a sassy little finger flip on his
Yeah.
powerlifting
Yeah.
lever belt.
I'm usually good with not saying anything, like I can brush things off, but if you look at my face is like a dead giveaway about how I feel.
Oh, a little bit of RBF going on there, is it?
Don't look at me. Yeah. I'm
Since we're
fine.
talking of funny faces, if you had to describe your lifting face in one word, what would it be?
Shart.
All right, we'll be right back.
It's not a
Okay.
great one. I don't
I
try
mean,
to
I could see
pretty
it. I
when
could.
I
I don't want to say I could see it, but I could see it. Okay. Anyway,
that's how I won my husband.
that's how
Is
you
my
won
deadlift
them.
face. Yeah, my deadlift
Yeah,
face. That's what he said. Yep.
the cheeseburger walrus himself.
That's right, Papa Smurf.
Speaking of sharks, after a heavy session in the gym, getting ready for a show, are you a poutine or a protein shake kind of athlete?
I'm definitely protein shake. Okay, so guilty because I was born in the States. I'm not a true Canadian per se, even though I've lived here my whole life.
You don't like poutine?
Ugh, ugh.
You get the out of here, you Yankee!
It's
What
it's
is this?
fine. It's
We
fine, but I honestly I would rather just have like fries and my frosty over a poutine.
That is the most American thing I've ever heard anyone say that didn't have an
No,
eagle
I'm sorry.
perched on their shoulder and an AK-47 or AR-15 in their hands.
I didn't want to
America.
admit that out loud, but it was going to come out eventually. Nah, no protein shake, maple brown sugar. whey
Protein
protein.
shake? Yeah. Oh yeah. Is that a
Yeah,
thing?
yeah, Limitless brand.
Shout out
Yeah,
Limitless. I'm gonna be giving that a try. That sounds delicious.
10 out of 10. Put it in my pancakes. Yeah.
What are the events for Strongest Woman in the West again?
Oh my gosh, there's an overhead medley. There's a max side handle car deadlift, which I'm excited about. I got a number in mind for that. Um, an odd implement duck walk, whatever that means. But Zone Smelling Salts is behind that, so I'm very suspicious of
If
him.
Zone Smelling Salts is sponsoring an event, you know it's heinous. They're not gonna sponsor like a cutesy little event. You know it's gonna
No,
be good.
no, he picks the absolute worst thing that somebody, I don't even know how he comes up with some of this stuff. So I'm a little bit nervous what he picks. So I'm just training the worst thing I could think possible.
Yeah, either way, your thighs gonna be pretty beat
We're
up after that.
we're all doomed. Like that one's
Yeah.
just gonna be a write off.
Yeah, yeah,
Screw that guy.
yeah.
Um, what else do we have? I think we have like a sandbag toss,
Okay.
but some of them is like the big ones with the two hands, and then the other ones is one hand throw. So I've never
Hmm.
done a one hand throw in a competition before. So excited to see how that goes. That'll be fun. And then the last one, I believe, is the last woman standing stone over bar. So I think it's a 250 stone until failure, like no time cap, back and forth until you can't do it anymore, which I like. Jackie and
That's
I
the
have done in the past, and that was pretty fun.
Yeah, and because yeah, even though it's head to head, it is opposite ends. So what you could get 20 reps at the start, and Jackie could get 18 or 21 at the end. Like it doesn't matter who's in between. Those are tough events. The last time I seen an event like that was at Edmonton Strongest Viking, like 2 years ago, maybe 3 years ago. They did
Mhm.
that, and it was a men's show. I think it was just amateurs, but I can't remember who it was now. Maybe Ben Border. He would just stay there for like most of the event and like just ran through guys doing that stone over bar.
That's the best thing to see those like somebody because Stones is the last event that it would be overall standings. So if the guy whoever's in last place comes up and they just go through the whole roster, that's the best thing to watch and that's the best way to end a show.
Yeah. Oh
Watch
yeah.
it Sweep competitor after competitor. Yeah.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
Gonna be a fun one to end off with.
Those events, you really see a guy's heart. You know who's there in that event. Even if you had a bad show leading up to that and you come out and you just leave it all out there, you'll get the respect of the athletes.
That's my favorite. Yeah. I just want you to try your hardest. I'm like a sucker for grit. If you got grit, then you've basically won my heart. Like
Yeah.
all my respect. Yeah.
Yeah,
Mhm.
like Hercules hold and front like Thor's hammer hold. Those
I'm
ones, I love those events too. They're fun to watch.
Those ones are spicy, especially when it has anything to do with the shoulders.
Yeah.
Not my event, but yeah, that burns.
Mhm.
Oh, I can feel that right now. I just want to think about it.
What would be your favorite event?
um, Overall, in general, I really, really like arm over arm truck pull, like seated. We don't see it very often, but the last few shows that I've ever had it in, I think I've placed like second.
Hmm.
So pretty good event for me, and I have it at America's, so and we get to pull a Zamboni, so that's very cool. I like yoke just because I'm good at yoke, and I love deadlifts. Again, I'm also like pretty good at deadlifts, but any variation of deadlift. So this side handle car deadlift that we have at Westerns,
Yeah.
I don't know if I'm. I don't know if this is an accurate number or not, but watching the men do the exact same thing at Alberta Strongest Man, I think I can pull 800 on that. So
It's a bold
that's
move,
like,
Totten.
I know, and I'm gonna get called out so hard if I don't hit
I
that
can't
number.
wait.
But that number's been in my mind since Josh pulled. Josh pulled like 1,060, I think.
Okay.
So I'm like, yeah, let's shed like 250 off of that. I was like, I can pull that, I think. Yeah, 800. I think that's doable. So
All right. I'm
now I gotta
excited to
do
see
it.
that. Now you got to do it. Would you
Yeah,
say that's your least favorite event then, like a side handle deadlift, or what would be your least favorite?
like a front hold. So I think it's more like, yeah, like a front hold or a crucifix hold. I don't really like just because, again, I'm not good at it and it freaking hurts. And I'm not very good at overhead, so I automatically don't really like that either. Um, but maybe Axel. Axel, I used to really enjoy the clean. I was really fast at, but now it just hurts.
Yeah,
I don't know if I'm just getting like old and immobile. I don't know, but it can go away. I'd rather have like two deadlift events than two overhead events, which seems to be a theme now. That if there's a 2 day show, you're doing two overhead events, which is lame.
not a good time.
No, but
Yeah. So yeah, with strongest woman in the West, only what, like a month and a
yeah.
half before strongest woman in Canada. Would you say you're still going to treat West as its own show and kind of go like full on and try to win it, or you think you're going to be a bit conservative and try to prevent any injuries or anything?
No, like I don't talk about injuries very often, but I've also been very lucky that I have never had a serious injury. So I always go balls out. Like it's really hard for me to hold back. Like I'm gonna try my hardest in that time. So even though I do have two shows coming up before Westerns, Westerns prep has taken a back seat right now, but I'm still training a little bit. Like I have power stairs coming up in a show, so I'll just do my deck walk and then I'll start my power stairs just to kind of train it a little bit. And then thankfully, I have a lot of deadlift carryover. I have the frame deadlift and then I have a car deadlift and then Westerns as the side handles. So I'm still kind of training that in a way without maxing out. I still think I'm going to do well though. Like competing in two heavy shows before Westerns, I think that's just going to prime my CNS and I won't have to peak again technically for Westerns, but I would really like a bigger belt than this little third place guy that I got last year. Um, would really like a Westerns title. So I am coming for Jackie's title. If I don't get Jackie's title, I'm coming for Jocelyn's bridesmaid title of second place because she got a bigger belt buckle than me. I just want a podium, but it would be nice to get a little bit higher than third. But I would take third too. I'd be very happy with third.
So yeah, I saw a wanted poster for you actually, and it said that you were worth about like $5,000. How do you feel about that? Like, is 5,000 accurate or not a little low?
I'll take 5K. Yeah,
That's where you're putting your self worth at.
yeah, I think so. Yeah, I would take that
Okay, fair
5K.
enough.
Sure, yeah.
And yeah, so getting in the strongman, I made a lot of friends along the way, and certain people might have helped us get into it and kind of help us through our first couple shows. Has anyone kind of come to mind for you in that sense? Anyone that kind of helped you get into strong woman and move forward?
Yeah, so friend wise, first off, I'd like to thank my first coach, Quinton. He was from Saskatoon and he helped me kind of get my foot in the door for like the first year. And then once I moved to Spruce Grove, which was my hometown, James Anderson and Derek Galliford kind of took me under their wing. Again, I was like, how old was I? 20, 21 years old. So still didn't really know what I was doing, but yeah, um, those guys have been in my corner since day one, and they always check up on me. And James Anderson is still competing, and Derek is still trying to get his foot back in the door in the masters category. So it's nice to see that they're still participating as well. But I think they're also happy seeing me like still being in the sport. There's been a lot of pros. I've been doing this for 10 years, so there's been a lot of pros that haven't stuck around very long. So I think since the first year that the pro circuit started for women, it's been me and Jackie, and everybody else has kind of dropped injuries, life just kind of moved on. And me and Jackie are just like, no, like we kind of like this. We're going to stick around a bit. So I want to thank Jackie as well. We started training, we trained together for like a month and then I moved. So we didn't
Yeah.
get to know each other very well. I just remember telling her I like your pants. And then the next time I saw her after that, I think was in New Brunswick for nationals. And then since then, we've traveled the world together. So she's my bestie in this sport. So yeah, want to thank those three people specifically. And then I'll also bring up some of my sponsors as well. Um, Zone Canada has also been in my corner for quite a few years now. He helps me with everything, anything that I need, like advice as well. So he's just like a good friend and a good person in general. So my code for Zone Canada is BDZ. And then I picked up an underwear company, which is not my thing, but I'm dabbling in that, and so is Josh. So very, very comfy underwear. Love what they do. They donate every pair that you buy, they donate a pair. So I really like that, and they're local in Calgary. So my discount code for that is strong.
What's their
And
name again?
Devin and Lang.
Oh, they're Calgary based.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I saw some of your guys' little like clips and stuff like that. They're funny as heck.
Yeah.
And I didn't know they were Canadians. That
Yeah.
makes it even better. Yeah, Devin and Lang. That's awesome. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. They'll be at Nationals. They'll have a booth set up.
Nice,
Yeah.
nice. Maybe if they see this, they'll make me a purple pair with a hippo on it.
They do have really nice purple pairs. I just bought Josh two pairs actually. And then yeah, I have a few others that I'm, working my way up the chain with. Like I'm partnered with Bells of Steel. They've helped a lot with my home gym. A lot of this stuff in my home gym is from them. So they've helped me ever since I had the baby to try to work out from home, work out with her a little bit more. So had a lot of support from them. So thank you. And they're also our annual sponsor for Strongest Woman in Canada. So just thank you in general for supporting us women. Um, and then I have a couple others in the works that I'm not going to say yet. Need to dot some I's and cross some T's, but there's more exciting stuff coming from me. So just follow me on Instagram, BDZLemonSqueezy. Everything's in my link tree. And yeah, you'll see what's up. I'm always posting about them as much as I can. So no, I'd say that's pretty much it.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
There's a chance just if you wanted to say anything too, you could, and if not, it's all good.
Just say I'm coming for the Westerns title, baby.
Oh, I'm using that.
And that's it.
That's awesome. All right. Well, BDZ Bailey Cloherty, thank you for your time. I appreciate it. I also like your backdrop. Good choice there. I like it. And
Thanks.
yeah, thanks for your time. Look forward to seeing you as strongest woman in the West and in Canada.
Yes, sir. I'll see you next month.
All right.
Okay.
Toodaloo.